We're going to be taking rectangles and maximizing their area without changing perimeter. So we are told here that we are given a rectangular park is 60 yards wide and 95 yards long. Given the length and the width, give the length and width of another rectangle that the park has the same perimeter but a larger area. So this is what we have to start with. We have, right here, we have a rectangular park which is 60 yards wide and 95 yards long. And in this case, we want to find their the perimeter. We simply add it up, 60 plus 95 plus 60 plus 95. And that gives us a perimeter of 310 yards. And then if we multiply, we're going to get an area. Let's see, 60 times 95. And an area, in that case, is going to be 5,700 yards squared. Now, in order to maximize our area, if we had to go with the same perimeter, basically the maximum would be a square. So let's draw a square here. So if we take 310 and divide by 4, that would give us each side of our square. And that's going to be a 77.5. Now that would give us the same, again, perimeter. Our perimeter here is going to be 310 yards. But in this case, the area of the square, if we do 77.5 and square it, or times by itself, we get 6,000 and 6 feet, and yards, and it's yards squared. So you can see that the perimeter of the square, although the same as our original rectangle, has the larger area. So, but it doesn't want a square, it wants a different rectangle. So we need to find a rectangle here which is a little bit closer to a square but not a square. And honestly, at this point, it's guess and check. So we want to lengthen our width a bit and lengthen our width and shorten our length so that is more square-like. So we're going from our original rectangle to the square. So all you need to do is, let's go ahead and add. Let's add 10 here. Let's call this 70. And if this is 70 and 70, we add 70 and 70, and that's going to be 140. And then we need to take 310 and minus 140. And that gets us 170. And then we need to split 170 in half in order to get our length. 85. Now, in this case, if you add 70, 85, 70, 85, your perimeter will still be 310 yards. Let's check what your area would be. 70 times 85. In this case, it would be 5,950 yards squared. So you can see here that our perimeters are exactly the same for all three instances, but our areas, there's your original area, there's our intermediate area, and there's our area with the square. We see the square maximizes the area with the given perimeter, but it doesn't ask for a square, it asks for a rectangle. So we're going to be using these numbers. Now you could add 5 and then take away 5 from the length and use a variety of variations. That's just one example. So here we're going to say our width is 70 yards and our length is going to be 85 yards.